Well, this guy, they did such a weird job on him. Okay, he's got the base. Basically, this is just base paint on here because I don't think that it looks too cool. I'm gonna give him a Justin Bieber blowout here. Let me see. He's trying to get this. He's got some little minuscule hair there that's gonna be an issue. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Well, here we go. What can happen, right? What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, have some Frankie green here. I'm gonna go ahead and get my makeup sponges that I use. I get plenty of those so that. Okay, so I have my reference there. And these sponges, I'm gonna throw them away because that's my toad sponges. I just got through repainting a toad for my witch downstairs. Okay, and let's see how this is gonna look. This, I'm sure the colors aren't gonna reflect well, but as you can see, this is like super light. I see that he's got a lot of highlight. He's got a lot of highlight. Yeah. I really want to paint him dark too. Okay, so here I'm just going to go ahead and speed it up so that you guys don't have to endure every single pat that I give this, but you can get the gist of it. I am just patting this color on, and I'm going to pat on many layers of paint and wipe some off, and you'll see I want to really get those highlights in place, those bronze and those darker shades, to make them look realistic, because this sculpt is awesome, but they did a terrible job with the basic paint that they put on here. Like I was saying, they used 2 colors, 3 if you count the red for the blood. They airbrushed some of the highlights on here, but yeah, I was very unenchanted with the actual painting on this mask, how it's mass produced, because this sculpt again is awesome, and we will be seeing that later on. So here I am just taking that color and just putting it all over, and don't forget to do behind the ears and the back. It is going to be a little bit harder to get up there where the hair is, but it's totally possible with the sponge. And yes, I do like my fingers as blender brushes. They do a good job blending and getting that paint in there in those creases. Okay, so now I'm done with that color. And I'm going to take this other color that I'm using. It's kind of like a bronzish black. Not bronzish black. Bronzish brown color that I'm going to be using. Just to go lightly over those areas. And also give it another layer. But I am going to darken them a little bit more using darker paint. But again, if you want realistic painting, it's about layers and layers. So that color it does reflect. And this bronzish brown that I'm using is actually a little bit, not iridescent, but it's a little bit one of those metallic colors. And it doesn't really look that metallic, but it just gives it that nice little glow, that little extra thing that I want to put on this beautiful mask. I did cover those holes, the ear holes, the eye holes, and the nose holes with some felt, black felt. And it's not a problem at all because I will blend that color into the felt on the ears and The eyes, they look great black, just like the pupil, and the nose also black. So that was a great solution for that. Again, here I am blending and blending. You want to really get down in those little crevices, as I said, those little wrinkles and all that awesome sculpt. Because that, again, is going to make it look more human and more real. Yeah, this red is too darn bright. So I will be working on those wounds to make him look a little bit more realistic. Also, those bolts that he has, the one on his forehead and also the one on his neck, those I will be dirtying up a little bit because I'm sure Dr. Frankenstein did not have a Home Depot or a Lowe's next door to his laboratory, so I'm pretty sure those were old bolts. I mean, Frankie was spare parts, so he would not be using new bolts, and that definitely, we have to take that to another level and dirty those up, make them look weathered and old. This paint that I'm using, again, is just regular latex paint, not latex, but well, yeah, acrylic latex paint. It does well on these masks, and what I've heard is that you can protect them afterwards with Armor All. Just Armor All protects your masks after they're painted so that that paint lasts on there longer. But yeah, here we are, and I have pretty much the darker hues on there that I want to put on there. And I know he looks like if he was playing in mud at the moment, but it will get a little bit better in the next portion of the painting. I will be putting some of that green mintish color on him again, lightening up the mask a little bit in those highlight areas that I want. But look at that. Look at the eyes, how awesome they turned out. I did dirty up that little white, put like the veining in there and made his eyes look like bloodshot. The lips turned out so good. You can see all those little lines and just those irregularities, those imperfections that made Frankie who he is. Okay, so here we are, finishing him up. Again, putting those highlights in there, that other layer that I want to put on there so that it just sets those creases and those marks way back. It just gives it so much dimension. But yeah, this is basically what I'm doing, and my main brushes are, I do have some round brushes that I'm using, but also, I mean, my number one tool really is the makeup sponges. And again, you can get these at the dollar store. They're inexpensive, and you can just throw them away once you're done. And I'm telling you, people, this is what this mask, if you want to buy it with this paint job, it's going to cost you 500 plus versus, you know, 60 bucks that you buy at the store, just unfinished, basically, because it's just the basic layers of paint that they put on there. But if you want it to actually look like a beautiful, expensive mask, which it has the potential to be because the sculpt is just outstanding. Look how much better that wound on his forehead looks. That's an older wound. So I kind of darkened up the color inside and made all those little, you know, around it. It looks like if it's swollen a little bit. Just makes it look great. Don't be afraid to go back and retouch and re-darken and relighten, and it's a process, and you're guided by your eyeballs, and whatever looks good to you, that's what you do. I mean, I do have that reference photo of Boris Karloff on the screen, and he's kind of guiding me to where I want those lights and darks. But really, it depends on what looks good to you. And also where you're going to be using this mask. If you're actually going to be using it at night, you want to actually turn down the lights and look at it in the nighttime, so that you could see if it's going to show up, if you need a little bit lighter colors, or something like that. But in my case, I'm going to be using this as a prop. I'm going to be making a body for him, and I'm hoping to make him like 9-10 foot tall, and just take that extra detail and put it into his outfit and his shoes, and just make him a really awesome prop to have inside my home. Yep, exactly. This is what makes me a momster. And I don't know if you can remember when I first started this, um, those circles under his eyes were super dark, just like a basic black. So here I am, just retouching those wounds, getting that fake red off of there. Just darkening up those places where I need to darken up. And actually painting on this latex mask is great. It is the paint. It takes the paint very well. Here we are, just darkening up those areas. And you want some of those colors that you put on to come through, so you dab a little bit of paint and then take it off, and it's just a dance. Here I am, just darkening those bolts and just making them look old, and that gives it totally a different look and dimension. And now they don't stand out so much, even though bolts on a neck do stand out. Just that attention to detail makes them look like if they belong. I am nearing the end of this paint job. His face is a little bit askew because I have him on a mold, like in a styrofoam mold. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we got it. I think we got it, people. Yeah, he turned out awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of define his hair with hairspray and kind of comb it to where it was, because I kind of just embeavered him in order not to paint the fur. Like I said, you can always keep going and keep going, but look how much better that looks. The scars look great. Just hit this one a little bit right here. Hit it with a little bit more copper. Oops. Okay. There we go. And then we'll just go ahead and hit it again with this dark, just to get it to show well. And great. Ah, I love it. I think he turned out great. Do his ears back here. You can't see them, but all part of the show. Back here, you're not going to be able to probably see any of this, but we want to be. There you go. And I think it looks great. All right. Woohoo! I think we're done. Let me see. I don't know if this helps or it doesn't, but look at that. Isn't that cool? Let's see, let me take this and show you. That's how it ended up. How awesome. Okay, so I'm done with this guy, and I just wanted to give you a close-up of how he looks. I don't know, I have several lamps going on here at the same time, so I don't know if you can see how awesome he looks. Yeah, that's definitely, now you can really see, me blocking the light, but you can really see the lines up here. You know, his eyes look awesome. I was going to put some cabochons in there, but I just put felt in there and painted it, and then painted around his eyes, and now they don't look stark white like they looked. And look at his lips. Oh, isn't that awesome? You can just see the weathered and stressed. It's an awesome sculpt. Whoever sculpted this did a great job, because it does look like Boris Karloff. This situation here, I think I'm going to darken it a little bit more. Because I don't know. I'll see. But I did dirty up his bolts to make it look older. So I think I'm going to do the same to that right there. But how awesome does that look? I think he's way better than what he was. And now I can really appreciate his awesomeness and his gnarly sculpt. How awesome is that? Love it.